Well, it's taken a really long time to get approval, but we can now buy foods made with hemp seeds. Now, you might think it's the drug marijuana, but there is a huge difference. And of course, this is legal. And to find out more, we are joined by Paul Benhaim, who is the CEO of Hemp Foods Australia. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
All looks fairly standard here. Before we get started, though, I've got to ask, if I tasted this and sat a drug test the next day,
Yes.
would I fail it?
Absolutely not. These do not contain any intoxicating properties whatsoever. Food Standards Australia and New Zealand have studied this to ensure that it's absolutely healthy for all of the Australian people. So that includes pregnant mums, all the way to mature people and everyone in between. So no problem with drug tests.
Does it go through some kind of special treatment?
It's a certain type of plant that's grown without drugs from the beginning. And that's been grown for more than 2 decades in Australia and for centuries around the world, in fact. So it doesn't contain THC, which is the intoxicating stuff that we don't want. Instead, it contains omega-3 and omega-6 essential fats, as well as GLA, similar to evening primrose oil, fish oils, and all the wonderful healthy proteins.
So lots of Australian hemp growers, is that where you get the seeds from?
Well, now that hemp foods are legal in Australia, we're finally able to give Australian farmers contracts. So everywhere from Tasmania to New South Wales, Victoria, even to northern Queensland, we have farmers planting hemp literally in this month. So it's very exciting times for Australia.
So tell us about all this food. It smells delicious. What have you prepared?
Did you inhale?
There's wonderful healthy products here. This is a green smoothie, which contains hemp seeds and hemp oil. This is a blueberry smoothie here. Really simple to use hemp, and the idea is to show you how versatile it is just to simply add the hemp seeds.
What's that?
This is a hemp bread. So we've used the hemp flour, which is a part from the hemp seeds itself. So we've made this really healthy vegan hemp bread here. Then we have, please try some. Awesome.
So we're not going to be hallucinating or anything?
No, you might be happily high, but that's because of your radiant health. But for no other reason than that.
How is it, Arthur?
It's delicious.
Yeah? Might try a little bit too. Excuse me.
Please.
And what are these? You've got some balls.
So these are, we've got some balls here allowing hemp as a food.
Of course he has balls.
They're bliss balls, I think, Arthur.
So
this isn't doing anything to our hosts whatsoever.
Blissful hemp balls are simply dried fruit mixed together really simply with hemp seeds in. So again, the essential fatty acid protein hit that you can get to keep the energy going throughout the day. So it's really easy to add hemp into all of these products. Tasty? You like that? Awesome.
Now, Paul, I know that this has been approved, so it is safe to eat, but I'm going to err on the side of caution, given that I've only got a few more weeks until I have this baby. But you were saying in the break that this is actually quite beneficial for pregnant women?
It has been shown in clinical studies that omega-3 and omega-6 are really important for the brain development of children from their first to second trimester and for the first 18 months or after born.
How are you going to overcome that kind of marketing, though? This has all been approved, it's all safe. To someone like me, how are you going to overcome that? The scaremongering, I suppose, and the fact that you kind of need to avoid these sorts of things in pregnancy and that type of thing. The drug angle. The drug angle.
There is no drug. Oh, this is not a drug. This is a health food, and that has been clear around the world for decades. So it's sold in supermarket chains. It's sold in big health companies as well as mainstream markets in North America and Europe. So it's a matter of time before Australia catches up with the rest of the world. And it doesn't feel like it's going to be very long now.
To make sure it's pure,
yes.
Do you need a special permit to be a hemp grower?
You do indeed, yes. And so we have the Department of Primary Industries. They come and check our crops to ensure that they're below the intoxicating limit, because you can't tell without actually checking. And they do that.
Really?
And it also always is. Then it goes into a food processing facility, which is healthy to ensure it's clean and safe foods, and that's what we have here.
Is it a crop that needs a lot of water, or does it grow well in dry conditions like we have in Australia?
That's a good question, because we are in the driest continent on Earth, of course. So it needs very little amounts of water, and it needs no pesticides whatsoever. So it's a really awesome crop for Australia to get involved with, and has many other uses as well, not just foods, of course. We can make clothes, building materials, bioplastics. Even so, all Mercedes-Benz cars, in fact, contain industrial hemp in their body parts.
Really?
And not a widely known fact.
Phenomenal.
Is this something, do you think, Australians will embrace, or do you think this will become a bigger export item? more than anything.
Well, if we look to the rest of the world, we can only guess that in Canada
quite
and
conservative, that's all, here in Australia.
But so are Canadians and so are some Central Europeans, and they have really embraced this to the mainstream because it tastes good by itself. The healthy hemp seeds that you've got there on your left.
So can you get these at health food stores?
You can buy them at health food stores from today, but from now onwards, we're going to see much more mainstream food places selling them. So cafes, restaurants, manufacturers are going to be producing products with hemp in them. Pastas, breads, even beer you can have with
Beer?
hemp in it. Beer, you can actually
What about
brew
rosé?
If there's no harm in the
Someone should
in the
listen.
foods, and you say there's a lot of good in them,
Yes.
why has it taken so long to get permission to do this?
That is a good question. The legislation was written in a way that wasn't supportive of hemp foods many years ago, and it takes our politicians a little bit of time to catch up with the rest of the world, where hemp foods have always been legal. So there has been no problem with hemp foods in the rest of the world, and it is considered a health food. There is no misunderstanding that it's anything else but a healthy, tasty, nutritious food that can be part of everyone's daily diet.
That bread is really yummy, got to say.
You shouldn't need to eat much for the rest of the day now because it should give you all the essential fatty acids. Maybe it'll
How are you
improve
two
your skin.
feeling? You feeling okay?
Yabba dabba doobie!
I think she's
No,
brilliant.
we're high on life.
That's right. We are all together.
Pink Floyd playing in the background. Paul, thank you for being such a good sport. This
My
is
pleasure.
fantastic. Congratulations
Thank
on
you very
finally
much.
getting it approved.
Thank you very much.